the modern technology doesn't always work, does it? And anyway, we managed to record the program, although we didn't get to air live, we managed to record the program and get it up on Facebook. And we had an interesting day of racing there last Saturday. And this morning we've got the usual routine to run through for this afternoon's meeting. Big meeting at Doomben today in Brisbane, the Oaks Day, Ladies' Day today. The big race of the day is the Oaks for the 3-year-old girls. The fillies go around today over 2.2 kilometres, the middle distance race for the younger fillies today. So with this morning's program, we start off with our usual contribution from bookmaker and committee man 1JUN19. He's drawn attention to a couple of runners he thought might perform reasonably well this afternoon. And we start off in the first race at Doomben with race 1, number 7, Shadow Hero. Race 1, number 7, Wayne then liked in race 5, number 11, In Good Time. Race 5, number 11. He then went to race 6 for number 12, Natch. Race 6, number 12, and in race 8, the ladies' race today, number 16, Duchess of Lennon is the selection that Wayne has come up with this morning. And talking to our other great contributor, Shane Galinsky, last night. Shane came up with a bracket of selections. He's been reduced by one through scratchings, I believe, but he liked and drew attention to Brisbane race 6, number 2, Nicanova. He then went to Brisbane race 7, number 6 again, Stella Victoria. And in race 9, he liked number 5, Tally. Race 9, number 5, Tally. And then he finished off his day in Melbourne with race 9, number 3, Takadali. Those were the contributions from Wayne and Shane for this morning as the ones they thought might perform reasonably well this afternoon. And because of last week's technical difficulties and we didn't get to air live, now grateful those difficulties have been overcome. But last week, just drawing back to a couple of comments we made on the program which we posted on Facebook and got our contribution up on Facebook there, and those who managed to get to the Facebook site, we're able to hear our comments about that spectacular grey horse racing in Brisbane called the Candyman. He runs in the famous Gun Thin colours, and he's owned in some of the same interests as Gun Thin. There's a spectacular story about that horse. He nearly didn't survive a fatal accident before he'd raced. And I believe the veterinary bill to repair him was about $30,000. But they did repair him, and he's now won 7 races straight, and he proved himself in open company in Brisbane last Saturday. And we talked about him last Saturday morning, but it's a spectacular story. And the Candyman is something a spectacle to watch. He's a brilliant galloper, a grey, as was Gunson. And it'll be interesting to watch his history as he progresses. There was another item we mentioned on the Facebook site last week. We usually have a star of the week for the previous week. And last week there was a spectacular story there. The star of the week was local trainer Greg Cornish. Greg had a spectacular week with 3 winners and a third out of the previous Bay Visitors race meeting, the big Hibernian meeting. And that performance by Greg Cornish certainly made him the star of the week. But in fact, it's the best training performance I think we've recorded since we've been doing this program over the last 14 years. Congratulations, Greg. It's a great effort, a great training performance. The day continues and the racing continues this weekend, and over the past week we've had a few results come in, not many, coming in for the boat as a training fraternity. There was a third for pole vaulter at Ipswich during the week on Wednesday. That was pole vaulter trained by Robert Lyford, and the odds of 90 to 1, I might add, that horse ran third for Robert. A good training performance there. And in Ipswich again, we had a fourth there, minor prize money check for Darla and Juray with Chikorita. At Eagle Farm last Saturday, Bow Arrow performed extremely well for Matthew John Dunn. running fourth in the big Metropolitan Tough Company in Brisbane last Saturday. And Toowoomba, on a cold night up in Toowoomba, Capital City ran second for Deborah Ainsworth. So some creditable performances there for local trainers, but certainly no winner's circle or star of the week during the week, but great to get some results coming in for the local training fraternity. We've got a massive travelling group today. The Brisbane racing, of course, a big tough day at Brisbane, and only one boat is a trainer venturing into the top echelon of racing in Australia there today, going to Brisbane, and Diane Murphy. Diane is heading to Brisbane. She accepted in 2 races with Astoria, but she's elected to run in race 6, number 4, Astoria, trained by Diane Murphy. And we wish Diane all the luck in the world there against a tough Brisbane company today. The meeting at the Gold Coast today sees Ben Robinson going down there in race 3, number 11, Pick at It. And the 3 race cities are all at the Gold Coast. Race 3, number 11. In race 4, we've got number 10, Spicer, Kelvin Hickmont. And Ben Robinson's also heading to the Gold Coast. Kelvin Hickmont's horse incident with the race 4, number 10. Ben Robinson heading to the Gold Coast in race 5, number 11, Solitary Rose. And Greg Cornish heading to the Gold Coast as well in race 7, number 2, Oddfellow. And Ben Aarons finishes the day at the Gold Coast with race 8, number 10, Fantasy. There's a lot of travellers heading to Gatton today. Massive contingent going up to Gatton. We'll run through them quickly so the listeners can keep track of the Bay Desert horses heading to the Lockyer Valley Turf Club today at Gatton. It's a TAB meeting, that meeting, so it'll get good coverage on Sky Racing Channel. And Tracy, I'll just run through these quickly. Tracy Green taking Starcaster to Brisbane, to Gatton, I should say. Ben Robinson heading up there with Relative Directions. Sorry, that's Mature Direction. I can't read my own writing here. Relative Directions, that is. So Ben Robinson is at 8. Kerry Bowman from Matapilly is going up there with Oriental Ruler. Kerry Bowman again with Potawatomi heading to Gatton today. Tracy Green taking 10 Large to Gatton, and Greg Cornish also heading up there with Animal Instinct. Darlene Geray's got Sky One racing in Gatton today, and Ben Robinson still heading to Gatton with a couple, including Incision. That's Ben Robinson. Kerry Bowman again taking Ladretto to Gatton, and Greg Cornish, Charlie the Cat, is heading to Gatton as well. Those trainers are all heading to Gatton, and we've also got Ben Robinson taking Alfie Jr. and Lawardi to Gatton. So great photos of interest at that Gatton meeting today. And the racing then continues at Toowoomba and Murwillumbah on Sunday. Toowoomba meeting is a recognition meeting for Queensland Day tomorrow. Queensland 160 years old tomorrow, and I can't believe it's 10 years since the 150th anniversary of the establishment of Queensland, because that will also celebrate the publication of a great local book, They Gallop at Dawn, which featured a lot of the identities of the Bay Desert Race Club at that particular time 10 years ago. That book's still available and able to be viewed at the Bay Desert Library and also on the market. But at Murwillumbah on Sunday, we've got Ben Robinson heading there with I Race Death. Race 1, number 6, I Race Death is Ben Robinson contribution. Ben's taking 3 to Murwillumbah. He's also taking Hollis Bolus for the second race, number 4. And in that same race, he's got Sir Alston as well. Those races, of course, will be covered by Sky Racing. One of the Sky Racing channels as well. And as we turn the pages, we're continuing at Murwillumbah on Sunday in race 5, Alfie Jr. for Ben Robinson. Ray Litton's taking Send Me a Sign. to Murwillumbah on Sunday, as is Ben Robinson again with Bobby Axelrod. Bobby Axelrod in race 7, number 3. Matthew John Dunn is taking Raven's Wing to Murwillumbah, and Graham Blake is taking Brown Lions to Murwillumbah. They still continue. Graham is also taking Red Lions to Murwillumbah on Sunday. Big meeting and big contribution from the Bay Desert trainers at Murwillumbah. Greg Cornish is heading down there with Scantly Clad, as is Spike Deacon, Ken Deacon taking Sir Bernardine to Murwillumbah on Sunday. Come Alive will be representing Jeff Hardy at Murwillumbah, and also Wantabee taking Di Murphy, having a busy weekend. And Di Murphy's taking Wantabee down to Murwillumbah as well. The Lismore meeting, we've got several runners going to Lismore as well. Ben Aarons is taking Drops of Jupiter to Lismore, and also Laurie Richardson taking a couple down there as well. Spirit of Eden for Laurie, and also She Don't Listen for Laurie, going to Lismore for the meeting down there. Ross Howard's trying again down there with the Doctor, and also the Ross has got another runner down there, Dances with Time. So big representation in those Northern Rivers meetings over this weekend. We've got the upcoming meetings for the Bay Desert Race Club on the Bay Desert Race Cup race day on the 22nd of June. We've got the Bay Desert Cup meeting. That'll be a big meeting. It's a big promotion, that Bay Desert Cup meeting, being promoted by the Gold Coast Surf Club and run by the Gold Coast Surf Club for and on behalf of the Bay Desert Race Club. And that's Saturday, the 22nd of June, still in the middle of the Queensland Winter Racing Carnival. And then still on Saturday, the 27th of July, is the following meeting at Bay Desert, Saturday the 27th of July. And we've got a Thursday meeting then in August, on the 22nd of August, a Thursday meeting at Bay Desert. So there's the full programs coming up, some very interesting racing there, particularly the Bay Desert Cup meeting is becoming a significant meeting, and the Gold Coast Surf Club are doing a big promotion on that meeting for the Bay Desert Race Club. A lot of information on there, and we're very grateful to have our Facebook site up and running there last Saturday when technical difficulties occurred on not being able to go to air live, but being able to get our program up on Facebook provided a contribution, and the selections that the Wayne and Shane made available for that day were also all posted. There's a wealth of information on the Facebook site. It's a great coverage of the industry and a lot of activity for the Bay Desert Race Club, as well as the industry and the regulations of the industry, and a lot of links to other sites which are very helpful and to provide a great awareness of the thoroughbred breeding and racing industry. There's also a lot of photos there on that Facebook site from the Hibernian meeting. A great collection of photographs, social photographs from the Hibernian meeting, posted on the Facebook site, which of course is facebook.com/racing radio show, and covers also a link to a rebroadcast of this program for those of training fraternity and others who can't get to listen to it at this particular early hour of the morning. It was pleasing to see the barrier trial jump outs were able to be held on the Bay Desert track on Tuesday morning. That's a great help to the local trainers, and the barrier trials went ahead last Tuesday morning, and they're being paid pretty well every month now at the Bay Desert track. Great opportunity for an afternoon at the races today. The Channel 7 network will be providing a free-to-air coverage, and that's always a great contribution, because they do a very good coverage of those meetings of Channel 7 network, and it's a very interesting day of racing there at Denman today. is very much an integral part of the Queensland Winter Racing Carnival. That carnival contributes a massive injection of financial benefit to Queensland. You look through the field at the Doomben meeting today, and there's trainers from every state almost represented, and the Kiwis are here still too, and they're doing pretty well. But there's a great contribution, and we'll look at the strength of trainers performing, top Australian trainers performing at Doomben today. They're even at the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast has got a lot of runners representing top Australian trainers. So the racing industry in this particular Winter Racing Carnival in Queensland is certainly creating some spectacular activity. I think that covers most of what we wanted to talk about this morning. Hopefully at this hour, 8:05 next Saturday, we'll be able to talk about some good results arising from all of those runners that are mentioned there this morning. There's a lot of activity emanating from the Bay Visit training facilities, and we look forward to being here again next Saturday morning to talk about the outcome and the results from those runners this afternoon. So with that, again, we thank you, Rhonda. We thank the listeners for having us at their place, and look forward to talking to you again at this time next Saturday morning on behalf of the Bay Visit Race Club.